Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Ganganapate Namaha Sadgurubhyo Namaha Namah Shivaya Hanumate Namaha. So the question has been asked, how is it that a devotee, a bhakta, a sadhak, mumukshu, goes into the outside world, sees someone, anyone, male, female, child, young, old, who has negative qualities, right? Is doing negative activity, is also maybe physically very disheveled. So there's a physical lack of attractiveness. The words and the speech are not attractive. The state of mind of that person is very rajsik, tamsik, right? All that kind of thing is there, let's say. How is it possible to see that there is Bhagwan in that person? This is one question. There's another question, even more evolved in that, which is the more difficult one, even than this one, that it is only God. It is only Brahman, nothing else. That is the topmost. Now, how is that even possible? Well, it is possible. It is definitely possible when we have developed or when we have opened from inside that which is called Brahma Drishti. Brahma Drishti. Brahma Drishti, how to open that, what that is, let's talk about it. Then we'll do our prarthana. Let's spend like a few minutes talking about this. This is a great question, Deviji. Thank you so much for your amazing question. This is the goal, in fact. The goal is to recognize that the only one reality is dancing and playing in different ways. Whether it is Advait Vedanta or whether it is Shaiva Tantra, different systems have been developed, even in the Bhakti tradition, that the Paramatma is present everywhere. You know, I remember many years back, and this is just a conversation between me and you. You know, I'll just send this to you, and I won't put this on YouTube or anything. Years back, I had in 1997, I had the opportunity to stay for over a month in personal seva of Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj from BAPS. You know, who's the guru now? He was not the guru at that time. Pramukh Swamiji was the guru, but he was in the number 2 position. Is he in the New York Swaminarayan Temple? You know, the BAPS organization was not like this. It is now. Now it has gone to a totally different level worldwide. There were just few temples and all that. And I was in his seva, basically. I was with him, literally, like, you know, staying with him, essentially, for over a month. Amazing. It was just unforgettable. What I noticed is that whenever he looks at anybody, doesn't matter who it is, he is seeing God. I could feel, I knew that. Doesn't matter. Small child comes, that is Bhagwan. An old man comes, that is Bhagwan. Anybody comes, anything, even not just a person. Anybody there's a flower in the hand or there's a fruit in the hand, that is God, Bhagwan. I have seen this. Now, I don't know how to explain this exactly. इसको क्या कहते हैं? अलौकिकता. मैं आपको बताता हूँ एक प्रसंग, बहुत प्रसंग है. I have not gone into all this thing in our normal daily satsang, but I'm going to make some recordings to pull this together. It's very interesting. When that Swamiji had come to that temple, he had come out of the car, and just seeing him, this is my experience from years back, many times. Seeing him, I could feel the word feeling is not even the right word. It's Anubhava, from inside out, that wo alokik sthiti mein hai. Alokik meaning transcendental sthiti. जिसको अलौकिक स्थिति कहते हैं, जिसको ब्राह्मी स्थिति कहते हैं, जिसको दिव्य स्थिति कहते हैं. अब इसका how to explain this? Words fall short. It is an internal recognition of something extraordinary that the saint has evolved into. And that was always my experience with him, right from 1993 all the way to the last time when I had his physical darshan. This was in what was that, 2014 14 or 15 or something like that, but 15, 16 times, 15 to 17 times physically was with him, and for 1.5 months physically with him, literally. And those sages have opened into a dimension where the Brahman is revealed. It's the revelation of Brahman. Now, I'm just giving the background a little bit here, just to try to put this in context, that this is not theory. These things that Sachin is talking about, not a single sentence spoken ever is because of these theories. It's because of Anubhava with great saints. और बहुत संतों का संग हुआ है भगवान की दया से, और बहुत बड़े बड़े ऊपर लेवल के जो संत हैं उनका संग भी हुआ है, उनका दर्शन भी हुआ है. And I've seen this is true. So I said to him at one point, it was just me and him having a conversation in the afternoon about 3:15 p.m. in the New York temple outside. It was outside, it was sunny. Nobody else was there. It was just me and him. He was sitting on a chair and I was sitting at his feet. For a good half an hour, 45 minutes, it was just the two of us. Only the two of us. And in that conversation, उन्होंने पूरी ब्रह्म विद्या सिखा दी इस भक्त को. पूरी. Everything that Sachin is telling you every single day, exposing, it's all coming because of Guru Krupa. बहुत संतों की कृपा है. इसीलिए ये सब निकलता है. It's been placed inside my mind. It's not Sachin का कुछ नहीं है इसमें. So I said to him, I said two things. I said, Swamiji, when I see you, when I look at your eyes, I feel you are Sarvagna. आप सर्वज्ञ है, आप सब कुछ जानते. It's called अंतर्यामी शक्ति. भगवान की अंतर्यामी शक्ति होती और सर्वज्ञता. उन्होंने क्या किया? He said, yes, मैं हूँ, हम हैं, सब कुछ जानते. Not just of one person, 5 people. वो भगवान की दिव्य शक्ति है. अनंत कोटि जीव के कर्म वो जानते हैं. जो गुणातीत संत जिसको कहते हैं, गुणों से बाहर निकल गए, वो भगवान के साथ एक हो जाते हैं. Only body is there, they're doing their activity, but they are in a different dimension, and that dimension is beyond sattva gun. So anyway, I said this to him. Then I said to him, I said sometimes I feel that I shared a couple of experiences I had. I said, sometimes I feel that, God is present in all and all. He just only said one sentence. He said, everything is God. सब कुछ भगवान है. In Gujarati, it's sarvatra. That's sarvat. He said everything and everyone is Paramatma. वो उनका actual sentence. Now, how can that be? Now let's get to the answer that we want to get to. How can this be? What is this? Now, there are 3 levels in this. The first ordinary human level is we see each other through the lens of the 3 gunas of Maya. Somebody is tall, somebody is short, somebody is this, somebody is that, somebody has very nice perfume, has very nice dress, somebody is looking disheveled, somebody has very good quality thoughts, has very bad quality thoughts, has this, has that. But to remove from a bhavana point of view, हमारा जब हम भगवान की भक्ति करते हैं, from a bhavana point of view, to remove that divisiveness from inside when we are doing bhakti of God. कि भगवान की जो भक्ति, इष्ट देव की भक्ति, माता जी की भक्ति, शिव जी की भक्ति, कृष्ण भगवान की भक्ति, जीसस की भक्ति, जिसकी भक्ति कर रहे हो, when we are doing that, the Lord is divya. भगवान दिव्य, वो दिव्य तत्व है. So that divya tattva is the independent reality. Everything else is dependent on that divya tattva. So that divya tattva is present everywhere, present in everything. All right? Sounds very nice. Sounds very nice. But that's the next stage. But as our sadhana, bhavana develops, that same murti, that same Paramatma which we're worshipping in the mandir is now present with bhavna, bhavnatmak. अभी ये स्थिति नहीं हुई. ये एक भावना है कि भगवान सब जगह है, भगवान सब में है. What does that do for us? It makes us very sattvic. It makes us non-judgmental. But we still see relatively, if somebody is smoking a cigarette or taking drugs or doing something or harming somebody, we see that. We recognize it at the relative level what it is. But there, from a bhavana point of view, there is an immediate recognition that even that is possible because of the presence of God. That person cannot do anything, whether it is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, any kriya, unless Paramatma or Paramatma की शक्ति वहाँ है. इसको क्या कहते हैं, भगवान का अस्तित्व वहाँ है. Definitely. Okay, now, as this continues further, there is a dimension beyond this bhavana level, or that is the presence anubhav ka level है वो. And in that stage, हमारे में जो माया का जो बंधन है, आवरण, the माइक आवरण, meaning the blockages of maya have dissipated within us. The moment they break, we can only see God everywhere. Because there is nothing but Paramatma, Brahma Tattva. So then what is this experience we're having? That experience is there in terms of the relative reality, the expression of Maya. But the capacity to pierce through opens up by upasana and by grace of big saints and scriptures and all. It opens up where it's not just bhavana, it is an actual vision that opens up. I'll share with you some of the experience. I think I've shared a couple of them before, but some other ones I don't mind sharing with you. And these things have happened in my own life, actually. That this is true. ये परम सत्य बात है. It is not a question of anything that is imaginary or anything like that. It is nothing like that. So many times. I remember I was at a conference one time. There's here in Delaware, it's called a Springer Conference Building. It was a mental health conference, and there was an African American lady sitting next to me, and some conference chal rahi thi, they were discussing, whatever they were presenting, and my mind was also absorbed in that thought, that Bhagwan is there and all those kinds of things. And I had one of the spiritual books with me at the same time. I usually keep something with me all the time just for contemplation. So then somehow that bhav came, Bhagwan to sab jagah hai. Even though this conference is going on this at the relative level, but the person next to me, that lady was sitting there. So then my thought, just a feeling came that Sri Krishna is with me, Bhagwan Krishna. Instantly, that lady turned and said, yes, I am here. And she said that the great master will reveal himself to you when you are ready. How can you explain this? How is this explainable? She doesn't know who I am. I never spoke to her before. It is the divine that is present everywhere, in everything, in everyone, at all times. Absolutely satya baat hai. Absolutely correct baat hai. There's no question about that. But it's a matter of tuning to that. So many times this has happened like this. If that bhavana comes, that Paramatma is present here, then extraordinary things begin to happen. It is no longer Brahmadrishti. It is no longer, you are no longer bound in the realm of Prakriti and Purush. It is absolutely remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't make any difference where you are. And so many, I would say these kinds of things have happened. So I don't even remember all of them. They have happened so many times like this. It's absolutely extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary. It doesn't make any difference who it is. It's true with animals also. It's true with objects also. It's true with everything that is existing, that Brahman is the only reality. But when we are, see, these are glimpses. जो बड़े बड़े संत हैं ना, वो अखंड स्थिति में रहते हैं. They have gone outside of Maya. And so they can see both sides, but not only that, they akhand alokik panu, as I mentioned in the nirupan, unbroken transcendental bhav is there, unbroken transcendental realization. Alokik means transcendental. It is there all the time. Lots of examples are there of this. Lots of incidences have happened of this type over the years. And it doesn't matter who it is also. This happened with my father, actually, believe it or not. On several occasions, he was just sitting on the sofa. He was actually watching some Bollywood movie or something like that on his iPad. I was sitting on the other side, and simply, and I'm just हमारी भजन भक्ति सब चलती, and that bhavna came that this is not my father. ये तो भगवान का स्वरूप है. You will not be surprised what happened. He started looked at me, and unki jo aankh, see his entire facial expression and vision, everything changed in such a way that his eyes were fundamentally changed, that the Lord was present there. So these are all misconceptions. Somebody's my father, somebody's my mother, somebody's this neighbor, somebody's this. These are all false ideas from Vedanta. कुछ सत्य नहीं है. ब्रह्म सत्यम जगत मिथ्या. There is no father, there is no mother. भगवान ही है. और कुछ नहीं है. This has happened so many times with so many people, with so many situations. It doesn't make any difference who it is, what it is. It's happened with animals also. You see a dog crossing by, you see a cat crossing by. But one time it happened where I was sitting in the car, and that bhavna came that is not a cat. That is a great Shakti. That is a Maha. That cat came straight to me and was just looking straight at me for 10 minutes straight. That is a Devi. Bhagwan kya kaha nahi hai? Where is God not? This happened at the Premier Charities Gala 2 years ago. There was a lady, there was a young girl. I think she must have been 22 years old. I don't know what it was. I saw her, and just that feeling, that intense feeling came. This is the Devi only. So then she came to me, straight to me, and she said, I want to talk to you. So we had a small conversation, and it wasn't even my saying anything. I don't know how to explain it. She started talking about Mahavir Swami completely. She's a Jaina, and there's no context at all. For almost 30 minutes, she and I spoke about, and then when I was looking at her, ye to Devi hai sakshat. Where is she not? This is the real question. It's like that story of Prahlad ji. Prahlad was asked by his father, Hiranyakashipu, where is your Vishnu? He said, don't ask where is Vishnu. Ask where he is not. Aisi sthiti hai. These are glimpses only. Sachin is just an ordinary being, in that sense. But these are, Bhagwan gives, isko kya kehte hain? Ek anubhav karate hain कि ये सत्य मार्ग है. Stay on this track. It is correct. Absolutely. And it can happen in so many different ways. It is mind-boggling, that this is actually true. भगवान सब जगह है. जहां हमारी वृत्ति है वहां परमात्मा है. भगवान हमारी वृत्ति में ही है. It's not a question of temples or places, or those are all necessary. We have to be careful. This should not be misunderstood. God is present everywhere. Why I have to do any sadhana? Why I have to do anything? Why I have to go to temples? Why I have to take any mala? Wrong. That is also another mistake people make, using this type of Brahma Vidya. Don't make that type of mistake. Brahma Gyan is not to be used in that wrong way. इसमें से अहंकार भी आ सकता है कि सब ब्रह्म है, सब मैं ही हूँ, as I mentioned before. I've met some people like that too, and they wind up falling down into the vishayas. Vachanamrut में भी बहुत discussion on these things. But this is actually there, definitely. It's a matter of vision only, a vision without division. That's really all it is. And when we are living in that effulgent state, Swayam Jyoti, wo Atma ki sthiti hai, then whoever, whatever is around us, that is Advaita. That is all the same Tattva only. There is no me and you. There is only one. There's not even we. There's only Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma. That is the extraordinary thing. Extraordinary thing. I mean, and of course, there's a lot of ways to understand this. But ye sab anubhav, ye satya anubhav. These are absolutely real. There are transcendental experiences also. People have experiences in dreams and those things. But even so, see, this is in Jagrata Avastha, in Swapna Avastha, in Shushupti Avastha, in the three avasthas, and then beyond the three avasthas, anubhav sab hote hai. So आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में ये सब बहुत कुछ आ सकता है इसमें. And what is the benefit for us? That the divisiveness is not there. There's no more division left. This is the key. This is the absolute key. I mean, as I mentioned before, there was a time when I was doing a substitute teacher job at Carter High School in Tennessee. I was in a classroom with all handicapped children. And then some kid was sitting there, a white Caucasian American kid, handicapped kid, and I was reading this scripture, Swamini Vato, and that bhavana came, that Paramatma is just present. And that thought came that Sri Krishna, Ghansham Maharaj, that Bhagavan is that kid. He immediately stood up and said, I am here right in front of you. तो इसका मीनिंग क्या है कि भगवान कहाँ नहीं है. हमारी देखने की दृष्टि, भावना, वृत्ति, शक्ति, जो भी कहो, I don't know how to explain that even. What that is, it is not possible to put into words. It is divya bhavna. It is, remember Sachin has mentioned this before, कि शुद्ध भावना or divya bhavna. शुद्ध भावना क्या है? We wish well for these kids. May they be benefited, this and that. Divya drishti, yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. This is the Gita. Gita ji ke jo shlok hai. They're not just in the books, they can come inside of us. Once they come inside of us, that is something extraordinary. Uska to wo to baat hi kuch alag hai. वो level ही कुछ अलग है. These are just glimpses only. वचनामृत में तो ऐसा लिखा है, अखंड अलौकिक पूर्ण, without break, without any break. जो महंत स्वामी जी की जो बात मैं आपको की, without break, akhand, continuous. It is a pouring of divinity that is amrutam, which cannot be explained or imagined even. We are just getting some glimpse only of this. ऐसी सब दिव्य बात है, अलौकिक बात है. I'll give you another example. At that same school, and I was doing some substitute teacher job there, as I mentioned. I was in a classroom in a wood craft. We were making some wood crafts. So I had gone inside there, and I had this one piece with me. It's some kind of a clay piece is there, and you can make some drawings and stuff like that. So again, my vritti was inside this Vachanamrut and all. So I was writing these words, in English, dharma, jnana, bhakti, brahmacharya, all these wonderful words, right? Nobody knew I was doing that. All of a sudden, one student stood up, and he came in, and he stood right next to me, and he said, I know what this is. And he says that this is extremely special, extremely rare. This is so divine. How is this possible? How is this even possible that somebody, some unknown, how that student doesn't know what I'm doing. Nobody knows. I'm writing it in the Sanskrit language. And he says, he comes, and when I see him, that is the Lord is present. Bhagavan is present there. So these are not theories. These are not ideas. These are not just some hypothetical. कुछ जीवन में कुछ करना नहीं तो थोड़ा भजन कीर्तन करो. ऐसी बात नहीं है. That's also all right. Do that if nothing else is there. This is something. This is where that divinity is touched somehow. It is touched, and it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It makes no difference actually. एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. भगवान ही आता है, और गीता में लिखा है भगवान कृष्ण that I am always with you. You know, there's a verse, I don't remember it right now, in the Gita. He says, I am with the devotee all the time. हमारी वृत्ति उसमें लगनी, our वृत्ति needs to be there. Vritti. You know, ananyas chintayantama. All these verses, all these things are there. Whatever is there in this mind is just an expression of this one idea only, that this is real. You know, and it is. Actually, I'll give you another example. This happened 4 or 5 months ago. About 3 months ago, I was at the Christiana Mall. I was sitting in one place actually, just listening to Bhagavatam. I was listening. I said, sometimes this happens in my life, in this sadhana as we do, you know. So I said, it's a 10th skand, the 10th skand. They're beautiful from ISKCON. Somebody was giving a fantastic exposition. And that bhavna, itna adbhut exposition tha on Bhagavatam, 10th skand. So listening to it. I was just sitting. That bhavna came, that definitely Radha and Krishna will come here. वो आएंगे, यहाँ आएंगे. Within 5 minutes, a young couple, white American couple, they came and they sat right next to me. And the lady was wearing just like Radhika ji, how Radhika ji is having all the different, you know, ornaments, and they were looking at each other exactly as if Radha and Krishna are looking at each other. And they didn't say a thing to me. And that was not them. They were sent by Radha and Krishna. They said, you are calling me, I'll come to you. ये सब परम सत्य बात है. You know, so these things are, and they were sitting for almost a half an hour, and they were just like absorbed in each. I mean, it's the most extraordinary. I've never seen anything like that. You know, and even and they were like in their 20s or something, but absolutely in love. I mean, nothing but love was there. And I was listening to Bhagavatam. The Bhagwan kehte, you're connecting with me, I'll come to you. See, we cannot go to God. He comes to us. He comes to us in any form, in any way, at any time. It's not a question of, you know, we have to do so much sadhana. ऐसी बात नहीं है. Just it's retuning our bhavna only, and vritti. And this was, I was that Bhagavatam was going on. It was just so extraordinary, that intensity that opens from inside. That is the Shakti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhakti Rupena Samstita. Namaste Namo. So then she definitely will come. You know, the goddess will come, the incarnations will come. Any form of God will definitely come to us if that is what we are wanting. You know, but in the Bible, Jesus says, when 2 or more are present and are thinking of me, I am present with them. In the Bible, it is written. Okay. It's already 7:30. So many, there are hundreds and hundreds of these kinds of experiences. And it is absolutely एक अलौकिक बात है. You know, tremendous बात है ये सब. ठीक है. So ऐसी एक दिव्य स्थिति है. स्वामीनारायण भगवान के जो बड़े संत, let me just close with this. स्वरूपानंद स्वामी जी की ऐसी अखंड ब्राह्मी स्थिति थी. वो एक हिंदुस्तानी संत थे. From north side वो आए थे महाराज के. You know, he became a sadhu with Maharaj. उनकी ऐसी स्थिति, he sees any object, the object actually turns into Paramatma. He sees the Paramatma Tattva, that object disappears and the Paramatma appears. Jahan dekhu taha, wherever you look. See the incident from Tulsidas ji. I mean, if you look at the actual history of the Sanatan Dharma, thousands of prasanga are like this. सारांश इतना ही है, भगवान कहाँ नहीं है. भगवान सब जगह है, सर्वत्र है, सर्व में है. और फ्रॉम द अद्वैतिक रियलाइजेशन, भगवान ही है और कुछ नहीं है. There isn't anything other than that Paramatma. You know, of course there is the realm of Maya. Of course the 3 gunas of Maya are there. Of course all of these things are going on. Rag, Dvesh, Aham, Mamatva. That is Agnan. That is misapprehension. That is why the Jivatma suffers, apparently. But when the Rishi is awakened, when the awakening, jisko Rishi means seer, when the awakening is there, then that reality actually opens. And usko alokik bhav kehte hai, divya bhav kehte hai, divya buddhi kehte hai. Akhand divyata. That is the goal. 24 hours absorbed in the Brahmic sthiti. Esha Brahmi sthiti partha. Nainam prapya vimuyati. Stitvasyam antakalepi. Brahma nirvanam ruchati. Right? So these are the amazing things. See, like Sachin never studied these languages. Where did this come from? Because of Guru Krupa. The big saints like Pramukh Swamiji, others, they held my hand and they said, explain this Brahma Vidya. So that poured inside somehow. We keep trying, we do our part, but it's not, nothing is in our hands. It comes for some purpose. There is some purpose to do seva. Hamare haath mein, hum kaun hai? We're just a particle of dust only. Nothing other than that. Runadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtuna amani namanadena kirtaniya sadahari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji ka bhav hai. You know, you're just humbler than the blade of grass, more tolerant than the tallest of trees. One who gives praise to others, sees one's own deficiencies. You know, with these qualities, one is prepared for bhajan kirtan. This is a beautiful verse from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. Kya baat hai? Amazing. But it's sthiti ki baat hai. It's not a question of just spouting out verses and all that. It's a matter of sthiti. It's a matter of anubhav. Jivan aisa hum ban sakte. We can make our life like that. Isiliye, let's just close with this and we'll do our prarthana. And that sant ki sthiti. Sant kya kisko kehte hai? Sadhuta. You might get siddhis. People do different mantras. Unko sab milta hai bhautik, whatever they're looking for. You can get all those things, maybe, yeah. But what is the most rare is pure saintliness. Iske aage kuch nahi hai. There's nothing equal to that. Bhagwan himself stands in front of the true saint. Bhagwan swayam kehte main aise sant ka bhi main bhakt hu. Uska they are one. Choto ek anadiso chodoya ina bheda jani shake. Bhakti Chintamani mein likha hai ye sab. Sab adbhut baat hai. Okay, let's stop here for now and then let's do the prarthana.